Welcome back, students. So, we will start our new chapter, that is electricity and circuits, chapter number 12, page number 116. So, in this chapter we will discuss about electricity, electric bulb, open circuit, closed circuit, and the parts of the torch. Okay. So, we use electricity for different purpose. To draw water from a well, with the help of motor, we will draw water from the well. The motor works when electricity is there. In winter seasons, we will use a room heater to heat our room. That also works on the electricity. Now, electric iron we will use to press our clothes. That also works with the help of electricity. Then it produces, or with the help of electricity we can light a bulb. Actually, the electricity is not generated at our home. It is generated at power stations, which are far away from us, and from that power station we will get the electrical energy through overhead power lines. Suppose if any problem is there in that overhead power lines, then we will not get electricity, or our electrical supply will not be there. Then in that case, what we will do? Nowadays we have inverters at home, and torch, that consists of a bulb and a battery. So that battery will generate the electricity for that torch. That battery will generate the electricity for that torch. So here I will show you a cell. This one is a cell. If more than one cell is there, then we will call it as a battery. If more than one cell like this is there, then we will call it as a battery. So, normally in torch, minimum number of 2 cells will be there. Minimum 2 cells will be there. So, then we will call it as a battery. So, this one is a cell. It has 2 terminals, one positive terminal and one negative terminal. So, this one is a positive terminal. A metal cap is there. That metal cap represents a positive terminal, and a metal disc is there at the bottom. That represents a negative terminal. So, this one is an electric cell. It has 2 terminals. The metal cap acts as a positive terminal, and the metal disc acts as a negative terminal. Here in this cell it is marked. Positive terminal is marked with a plus sign, and negative terminal is marked with a minus sign. Just your mathematical addition and subtraction symbol. Positive is represented by a plus sign, and negative is represented by a minus sign. So, actually chemicals will be there in this battery. Chemicals will be stored inside this battery, and when you connect it to a bulb, with the help of wires, that chemical energy is converted to electrical energy and the bulb will glow. Chemicals will be there inside this battery. When you connect a bulb with the help of wires to this cell, this chemical energy that is stored inside the cell is converted to electrical energy and the bulb will glow. Okay. Now, how will you represent a cell? Normally, we will represent a cell like this. So, just I will draw the diagram of a cell, electric cell, that you have to draw it in your notebook. This one is a metal disc. This acts as a negative terminal. This one is a metal cap that acts as a positive terminal. We will represent it with the help of a positive sign and here a negative sign. Chemicals will be stored in this cell. Chemicals will be stored in this cell. So, when a bulb is connected to this cell with the help of wires, this chemical energy will be converted to electrical energy and the bulb will glow. Okay. Now, how will you draw the symbol of a electric cell? So, I told you two terminals are there, one longer line and one shorter line like this. One longer line and one shorter line. This longer line represents a positive terminal and the shorter line represents the negative terminal. How will you represent a cell, or what is the symbol to represent a cell? One longer line and one shorter line. Longer line represents a positive terminal and shorter line represents the negative terminal. Shorter line represents the negative terminal. Now, in your textbook, page number 116, electric cell, underline all these points. Electric cell, electric cell. Electricity to the bulb in a torch is provided by an electric cell. Electric cells are also used in alarm clock, wristwatch, transistor radios, cameras and many other devices. Have you ever carefully looked at an electric cell? You might have noticed that it has a small metal cap on one side and a metal disc on the other side. Did you notice a positive sign and a negative sign marked on the electric cell? The metal cap, just underline these points. The metal cap is the positive terminal of the electric cell and the metal disc is the negative terminal. All electric cells have two terminals, a positive terminal and a negative terminal. An electric cell produces electricity from the chemicals stored in it. When the chemicals in an electric cell are used up, the electric cell stops producing electricity the electric cell has to replace with a new one. Till there you underline. So, when you put the cell in a torch or a battery, it will provide electricity for the working of that torch or watch. Okay. Now, what will happen after 3 months? Here, the chemicals inside this or the chemical stored in this cell is utilized. Means this cell will not produce electricity. The cell will not produce electricity further, or the chemicals inside the cell is utilized or used up. Now what we will do? We will replace the cell with a new one. We will replace the cell with a new one. Suppose if your watch battery is not working, what will do? You will just replace it with a new one. Okay. So, that means the energy is utilized or the energy is used up. Means it cannot provide electricity. So, we have to replace it with a new one. So, that is about electric cell. Then 2 types of electric cells are there. One is rechargeable one and the other is non-rechargeable. This one is non-rechargeable. Just once it is over, then we have to throw it in the dustbin. We can't use it again and again. But what about our mobile charger? Mobile also having a battery. We can charge it again and again. Car battery, we can charge it again and again. So, that is a rechargeable one. Some toys car will have. Toys will having rechargeable batteries. So, we can charge it again and again and we can use it. Now, one more thing is here, that is a solar cell. This one is just the diagram of a cell. Battery means more than one cell is there, then we will call it as a battery. So, here this battery, this one, that can be recharged again. We can charge it and we can use it again and again. That is a rechargeable battery. But all these ones are not like that. Then this one is solar cell. Solar cell. In all these batteries, chemical energy will be there inside the cell. Chemical energy will be converted to electrical energy. Here in solar cell, we use solar energy, that is the heat energy of the sun. The heat energy of the sun is converted to electrical energy. The heat energy of the sun is converted to electrical energy. That is about solar cell. It will convert solar energy to electrical energy. Okay. So, that about electric cell. So, it consists of 2 terminals, positive terminal and the negative terminal. Positive terminal is a metal cap, negative terminal is a metal disc. Chemicals will be stored inside the cell and that chemicals will be converted to electrical energy, or that chemical energy will be converted to electrical energy when you connect a cell to a bulb using wires. If the chemicals in the cell is used up, then it will not produce electricity and we have to replace it with a new one. If the chemicals in the cell is used up, it will not produce electricity again, then we have to replace it with a new one. Okay. Now, you have marked it in your textbook. Now, read it and write the notes. Thank you.